And welcome back. Here we are at Missouri State University for the women's semifinals of the lower bracket. It's Maria Dugas versus Aoife McCarthy. This one is a highly anticipated women's semifinals, Division I of the open bracket. McCarthy representing AIT and Maria Dugas, LFC, and Maria gets the first serve. Maria has exaggerated motion with her offhand.
Aoife's got incredible body language.
Aoife has good body language. She's actually a character out here as the women travel around. She's more like a mascot, Dave.
Huh.
But in a fun way, lead by example. She's one of the top players. They all love her on her team. She's there to keep everybody loose. Ball looked like it could have been short. Aoife comes with a full group of traveling handball fans and a lot of family members back home watching her. Of course, her brother is a current U.S. Open champion, so she has a lot of handball in her blood. They say that her whole family's back home, including her grandma, watching this live broadcast, and she kills it. And look at that energy right there, Dave.
Well, she's very positive. She's very motivated out here. And I love her court position. When she hits the ball and moves immediately back to the center of the court. Look where she camps out, right there at that restraining line, right in the middle of the court. I'm not sure, guys, that Maria has the big match experience to be able to pull out a win here against a very experienced McCarthy.
Well, we'll
Maria
see.
does not look relaxed at all to me right now. She looks very much unsettled, over swinging, not setting her feet.
Aoife's having trouble catching this ball around the back corners where the glass is very glaring. She's also very animated in there, and you're not going to see much, if at all, any type of emotion coming from Maria Dugas. Ashley, have you played Maria, and do you know anything about her game?
No, I've never played against her. In fact, the only time I've seen her play was yesterday when she easily defeated her opponent in the quarterfinals.
We call that discussions that should have happened off the air in pre-meetings. Great lunging get and re-kill from Maria Dugas there.
A nice pass there down the right side. Now Maria's got to keep her serve from revolving around the right or the left back corner, excuse me. Otherwise it's going to be a setup to Aoife's right hand, which she didn't do there.
Well, that's exactly what you said there. Maria bringing that serve around the revolving door, and Aoife hitting the back wall kill. And look at where Aoife positions herself on the court, puts herself right next to Maria, really makes her feel the pressure, having to hit a great shot.
There's a side out called right there from the referee. You're watching the 60th United States Handball Association's four-wall collegiate handball championships here at Missouri State University.
And Aoife has that amazing fist to the ceiling that the Irish learn before they can walk.
Aoife is really good at that shot.
I'll never get it right. I can't get it.
We can give you a phonetic spelling if you like.
Just think of the big E, Eric Hilgren, Aoife.
Okay. I was actually thinking of Big E, Edgar Medina. I guess that would work also.
Score here is 5 serves 1. She's just setting her up with that around the revolving door shot. And I know personally that's my favorite shot, to kill it right into that right corner. And they could serve that to me all day, and I would be an incredibly happy person.
Well, Aoife has hit 2 kills in that back left corner, but
Cannot hear anything through our headphones or what Dave Fink is saying. If he is saying anything right now, we apologize. No court sounds. Can't hear the referee, but I don't know if you lost audio, Ashley.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice shot right there from Aoife McCarthy. Left corner kill. Front court taken a little off.
terrible serve there from Aoife. And Maria hits the offensive mystery ball there. Front wall, left wall, right wall for the winner.
I know that you're talking, Dave, and I don't know if you're, don't talk directly to us. I can't hear you, and neither can Ashley, but I know you're giving analysis of the game over there because I can see your mouth moving. But Aoife has an amazing punch fist return. We're also trying to get the score from the referee, which we're unable to do. And look at that shot right there. The Irish crowd loves that return kill from Aoife. See, Coach Dow is courtside now, and he is trying to give some advice to Maria Dugas. He looked over at her and waved his finger like the Kimbe Mutombo used to do. I don't know exactly what he's trying to say, like, don't do that again, I guess.
Maybe she'll be running laps after the match for certain bad shots.
We can hear some of the court sounds, but we cannot hear the referee.
Terrible miss hit there from Maria Dugas. This really, Dave, has all the makings of a really great match.
Try to see if our camera operator, Omar Lemus, can flash us the score since he's sitting right next to that referee. Maria Dugas representing LFC, and Aoife comes in here representing Ireland and AIT.
I believe the score is 3 serve 6, with Aoife serving to Dugas.
Those fist shots are pretty impressive from Aoife. Now Aoife with 4-6 here. And you notice, Dave, that Aoife didn't really move out of that dotted line. She stayed there for every single one of the shots without ever having to compact, or I should say move around the court much.
Well, look at where Aoife goes right after she hits. And then she puts herself in a great position to hit that fly kill, but she misses it. Maria tends to hit and stand wherever she just hit.
6-7-4.
Just have to estimate the score here. Is it 6-4 or is it 7-4?
I believe it's 6-4.
It's a second serve. Maria Dugas changing up, going up top. This will be her toughest match of the day.
And these
or
women are just
toughest match of
absolutely
the tournament
incredible.
thus far. Sorry?
These women are absolutely incredible, Dave. These are some of the finest women athletes I've ever seen. Absolutely amazing.
A lot of power right there from Maria Dugas.
6-7-4.
6-4. I guess Omar Lemus, our camera operator, is telling Linda Manning, our director, what the score is, and that's how we have the score up on the scoreboard, kind of going old school on this one.
7-7-4.
We're now at 7-4. You know, Dave, I believe that though Aoife, excuse me, has a little bit better game plan than Maria Dugas. Dugas's power is getting her a lot of free points here. She's able to push Aoife side to side with so much power that Aoife can't catch up to it.
Well, I would consider Aoife to be an incredible court general. She really knows her way around the court. She anticipates extremely well, and she's got great hands. Maria,
I also noticed,
a powerhouse,
Ashley, that as you are one of the top women's pro players, Aoife has a really good control over this soft ball. She's been playing with it her whole life. She really does understand it. And I'm not so quite certain that Maria is completely comfortable with this ball.
9-7-4.
Well, it sure takes a lot of funny bounces. I had a chance to hit it around the court yesterday, and it's very similar to racquetball style bounces where it'll grab a wall and just take off, and it's hard to adjust to that. You just have to keep on your toes and be ready for anything, really.
Well, I think, Ashley, that the Irish women play exclusively with the white label ball.
Timeout. First time for Maria. McCarthy serving, 4 serving 9.
4 serves 9. It will be a timeout. What were you saying there, Dave? I couldn't hear you.
Well, I believe in Ireland that the women play exclusively with the white label ball, so I think they're used to this soft ball.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's definitely benefits Aoife because she has a command over this ball. She knows exactly what it's going to do, and she knows how to manipulate it more than Maria. On the other hand, Maria's power and this ball seem to go hand in hand. So,
well, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you because Maria told me she's practiced exclusively with this ball for the last 3 months preparing for this event. So she plays only with this ball as well.
You're watching the 60th United States Handball Association's four-wall collegiate National Handball Championships. Here we are in Missouri, a little town called Springfield, where we have the men's and women's and semifinals going on today live.
It's a little slice of heaven here in the middle of Missouri.
We hope that you keep tuning in to this live broadcast today.
And if you think what we're doing is not difficult, go ahead and try and have a conversation with 2 other people, all 3 of you with earplugs in so that you can't hear one word the other is saying.
Guys, McCarthy serving.
That's what's going on here in the booth.
4 serving 9. 4 serving 9, yes.
In the booth, we have Ashley Moeller, yours truly, Dave Vitsit. Dave Fink to my right. Ashley So far, what is Aoife going to have to do to get some points against the hard hitter from LFC?
Well, I think she just has to move her around. As long as she just moves her side to side and really uses the back
5
glass
serving
and
9.
uses her angles, she can get back in this game.
Side out.
It's interesting. Aoife has a very similar left-hand swing to her brother Robbie. They both get that left elbow
Score
way
is
up.
9-7-5.
Robbie generates a little bit more power with the left, but you can see the genetic similarities when they hit certain shots. And this actually is why these women travel all these thousands of miles and put in all this training. Aoife traveling all the way from Ireland to get matches just like this
Score
one,
is 10
so they
serving
can
5.
play against the other top women in the world. There's really no feeling like it, Ashley. I know that you are
Point.
traveling every month to get those matches against the top women. There's nothing more fun than playing someone at your own
11-75.
level, particularly when you're playing them for the first time.
Yeah, and especially playing somebody that you've never played before, you're always going to learn something. You'll see different shots come off their hand or learn different style, so it's always nice to play somebody new.
You see Aoife just
Stick around
smiling
outside
there
the
during the
door.
rally.
Redo
She's having a
that.
great time. She's got a really positive
Crack
attitude.
on the door. Bad bounce, sorry.
There was a bad bounce in the back corner. Aoife did not see it. She's not happy that this ball will be replayed. She thought it was a side out.
11 serving 5.
11-5 is the score with Maria Dugas serving.
As much as these girls are loading up in that ball to get it to the back wall, it's very rare that it actually makes it back that far.
Well, I think they're aiming pretty deep on the ceiling. That's a nifty little shot there from
Side out.
Aoife, but they're hitting more towards the middle of the ceiling, so the ball's not flying all the way to the back wall. It's a very smart play, actually.
5 serving 11.
5-11, game number 1, best 2 out of 3 is the scoring format. Tiebreaker played to 11, first 2 to 21. Tough ball to get around that double glass revolving door with the left hand. Maria has no shame.
Score is
Doesn't
11
realize the
serving
whole
5.
world's watching her. And she wipes off her chin with her shirt.
Perhaps Nadia Alvarado could send her one of his towels.
He has no shame either. That ball just handcuffs
Point.
Aoife. Maria Dugas from Nova Scotia
Score is
in Canada.
12 serving 5.
Dave, you have to be impressed with Maria Dugas not having any emotion in there and yet still dominating this game.
Point.
I mean, she seems that she has a program that she's involved in, and that program doesn't include being emotional or
13
looking at the
serving
crowd or
5.
making faces and jumping around. She's all business right now.
Beautiful shot there from Aoife, falling back into the
Side
right
out.
corner, flat rollout.
Five serving 13.
Referee said 5-13.
Short ball.
Aoife says that was a short ball.
It feels like it's a lot closer,
serve.
but it's Maria Dugas dominating the scoreboard here.
That's a nice get back there in the left corner by Aoife.
Look at that ball checks up, Dave, and I've seen that multiple times now. Just blistered down the right wall. That shot from Maria Dugas.
Amazing power there from Maria.
Dave, we've been watching Maria Dugas for about
Score is
5, 6
13
years
serving
now in various tournaments, Canadian Nationals, that sort of thing. She hasn't gone to that next level, and I think that's just because of her studies, but She would be good on the women's tour right now. Not like there's a big circuit, Ashley. Every time I say that, I know you kind of giggle, but how do you think she'd fare in Salt Lake City last weekend when Jennifer Him, Tracy Davis, yourself, Biddy Bittigan were there at that tournament? Would she work her way and get a few wins?
Yeah, I think she would have definitely been a contender there.
I'd like to see you play her.
I would like to see that also.
I third
Is
that.
this a hardball match or a racquetball match?
This is a racquetball. 21 ball match.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Side out.
Unfortunately, my broadcast partners are so consumed by the ball talk. I don't really make much of an issue of it. Just play with whatever ball's in the court. At home, we actually have a wheel right next to the court where people throw old gloves and jump ropes and handballs, and we just grab whatever ball's in there and we play. We don't know what kind of ball it is.
Green racquetball.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We just use it.
Point.
We've got fireballs in there and 21 balls and
Squash balls?
we don't have squash balls, I'll say that.
Point. Timeout. McCarthy is serving. 8-14. It's Maria's second timeout.
Referee talking so quiet there, and perhaps he's actually talking louder, but we can't really hear what he's saying. I think he said something about something teen versus something 8.
8-14, I believe.
8-14, okay. And there is a timeout. We appreciate that you've tuned into this live broadcast, though we can't really hear ourselves through the headset. It's been a fun day of handball here courtside, watching all of the handball players from all of the different schools. Near 40 of these student athletes, 40 schools of student athletes coming down to the Plaster Sports Complex this year for the Collegiate Nationals. About 230 students converging onto this facility. And actually, it's a lot like looking at the weather when they will say something like, it's 40 degrees outside, but it feels like 22. Well, there's 230 students, Ashley, and it feels like 500. And this, either it's the way that this place is compacted, or since it's in Missouri and they've got about 40 students that play handball here, all of their parents and friends and family are also coming out, and that just adds for more excitement.
And it's also a great setup with show courts side by side and a common area in the middle, so you're getting the cheers from both sides of the courts.
8-14.
Makes for a very exciting environment.
I think I heard 8-14 here, with Aoife at 8 and a side out.
Side out.
I'm going to watch the referee's lips.
Score is 14 serving 8.
It is 14-8. First game, Maria Dugas gets a big back wall setup, goes and puts some torque into it. She didn't have to hit it that hard. That was a perfect shot in the right corner.
Score is 15 serving 8.
Now it's 15-8.
Point.
You see Aoife shaking her head in the back court after missing that ball. Dave, what does she have to do to get back in this game, down 16-8?
I believe that she's going to have to push Dugas into the back court, get her out of that strike zone, because she's really powerful around the dotted line. I would give Dugas a steady dose of those ceiling shots that she's been doing, but you can't make those hand airs right there. We've seen too many of those from Aoife McCarthy here. But if she can set it up and go to the ceiling multiple times to get Dugas away from the power, her power at that dotted line is just tremendous. Now, my advice in the last game didn't sound very good.
Do that. Check the ball.
And it's the same advice I'm giving Isaac Acosta, who just got destroyed by Martin Malkerns.
Score is 17.
But it always seems to me that when there's a power player in the front court, you have to get him out.
There's that wraparound serve again. It's just not a good idea to hit it around that back corner. So you're putting it right into the power zone to a right-handed player.
Score is 8 serving 17.
But she's finding success up. A nice shot there. She loads up and hits it down the right side.
Aoife got herself out of position there, tried to get back into position, and Maria
Score
just
is
plastered the
17-8.
side wall here at the Plaster Sports Complex. And another revolving door back wall
Point.
flub from McCarthy. This back glass is really brutal, Ashley.
Score is 18 serving 8.
18-8 is the score. Dugas trying to take care of game number 1 here. I like this serve. I thought it would check up. This ball is completely different than the one that I'm used to. That ball should have slid the back wall instead of actually went around true and popped back out.
Point. Score is 19 serving 8. Point.
Listen for the score here.
Possible point game serving 8.
This is game point for Dugas. Serves 8. Nice pass right there from Aoife McCarthy.
Set up. Score is 8 serving 20.
You heard Coach Dow, Dave, during Isaac Acosta's first game saying that when you're trailing big in the first game, if you can score the last 4 or 5 points going into the second game and build that momentum, you can maybe get yourself to 11 or 12 here if you're Aoife McCarthy. You start off the second game with some positive momentum. If
Yeah, but Dave, that,
Maria scores this last point, though, it'll be a complete domination here.
that's what Isaac did, and he only scored 3 in the second game. And there it is. Maria Dugas takes down Aoife McCarthy in the
5
first
minutes,
game,
ladies.
21-8. We're going to take a quick timeout for Dave Fink, Linda Manning, Omar Lemus, Ashley Moeller. My name is Dave Vincent. Stick around. Game 2 coming up at the Women's Semifinals, Open Division 1 here at the 60th United States Handball Association's Collegiate National Handball Championships.
Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't hear you.
Maybe.
That would be about it. Maybe a twice a year text.
Well, it wasn't a very close match in the first game there, but hopefully Aoife will come back in the second game and stop making as many hand errors as she made in the first game.
How much better is catching the cases?
This is level 2. Cat is about 3.75 to 5, 4.
So like 21.5 then?
You'll see.
Okay.
I'm just saying the best would be 5, right?
Yeah.
So, and we really can't say she's there at the 4 yet, although,
So is she better than Megan Heelis?
yeah.
She is.
She's a 3.7. You saw her play in Tucson, Katrina Casey.
Oh.
What's your first impression of Katrina Casey in Tucson when you saw her?
She's very fluid both hands. Solid.
Better than Megan?
Yeah.
Megan Miller?
Megan sucks. Same thing. She does?
Pardon me. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. You have reached the WPH Live video channel. You can watch past handball matches on demand or live when available. Just log in with the username and password to watch. Monthly rates are $9.99. Annual fees are set at $99.99 and come with a WPH player's card. The 60th United States Handball National Championships are live right now. Missouri State University, where you can pay for and subscribe to, then watch all of the action live and on demand from Springfield, Missouri. We are communicating with our
1, 2, 3,
Director.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very low, Linda. I'm pushing him.
This crowd, the crowd is so loud around us right now that we can hear everything through the headphones, to include those that are next to us, but you can't really hear them. Wish the volume was about. Right now it's a 1, wish it was at a 5 or a 6. Slightly higher. You went from a 1 to a 1.5 out of 10. You're now a 1.675 out of 10 in volume.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What?
Now we're ready to go back live. And we are back here at Missouri State University for game number 2 after Dugas wins the first one 21 to 8. Finds herself trailing here already 1 to 0 against Aoife McCarthy.
Score is 1-0.
That ball very
out.
difficult for Aoife to take off the back wall. Too high for her. Her whole family watching back home, rooting her
Score
on. Dave.
is 0-1.
Not sure if Dave's microphone is actually on. He's holding the handheld here. Cannot hear him through the headset, but luckily he's sitting next to me. And Maria Dugas
Set out.
is unable to take that ball down the side wall and get it back to the front.
Score is 1-0.
We're at 1-0 with McCarthy up. Make that 2-0 McCarthy here in the second game. Looks like so far, Ashley, she's putting Dugas in the back court and leaving her back there, which is, I think, a very smart strategic move. That was a short ball, not called from the ref.
Point.
I agree with you, Fink. I thought it just barely made it.
3-0.
You're agreeing with Fink, even though we can't hear.
Side out. Score is, Score is 0 serving 3.
The referee is actually mumbling the score for only himself to hear.
And a nice shot right there from Dugas. Well, the referee is Isaac Acosta. He just got defeated, and I think he's still a little defeated in there. Can't really hear him given the score because he's, I think, a little depressed from his action earlier, Dave.
Thank you.
We turn up his microphone, but then we hear everything he says when he sits next to Coach Dow over here. Ball just bouncing over Aoife's head. I know you can relate to that. Ashley playing on the 3-wall court.
Score
Some of
is
these crazy balls.
2-7-3.
A terrible mishit there from Aoife. She was trying to hit that ball into the right side wall and had her hand
Score is
overly
3-7-3.
cupped. The ball just hitting the left wall first. That's a 22-foot miss. I know, Dave, you would have just had your gloves in the garbage can and on the plane if you hit a shot that bad.
But he doesn't play handball anymore.
Walking to the garbage can is too much effort. I just drop them right on the court and let somebody else throw them
Score
away.
is 3-7-3.
I know we've talked about this a lot, and that ball hits Aoife right in the side of the face. That's one of those ear shots, Dave, that feels like it's bleeding when you get hit there. This is not a great sight, and I know that hurts, especially with the power from
Go ahead.
Maria Dugas. We're going to have the physio, Emer Nifaloon, come into the court here. She's the physio for the Irish team. Dave,
Check if she's
The
bleeding.
Irish bring a physio with them? That's not fair.
it actually is fair. They're
No,
all
I
business
actually
here.
don't think it is.
they're all business now. You know, Emer has multiple times won national championships on a whole bunch of different levels. Not playing as much handball as she did when she was a collegiate national champion.
You guys
She
okay?
played in 3 finals in the States, in the collegiates.
Their own physio.
And they actually have appointments. Each of them see her every day at a lot of hour.
Why do you sound so surprised about this?
Well, I'm just uncovering all the reasons now why the Irish come here to win. Our players' appointments are at the bar.
They also fly first class. That ball really hurts. You take
We're
one
gonna
right
redo
in the
that.
ear.
You
And
okay?
you know Maria was sorry. She's
Score is 3-7-3.
very apologetic. 3 serves 3.
Sometimes, Dave, it takes a couple of points to put that out of your mind as the player who hit your opponent in the face or in the ear.
Yeah, but David also wakes you up sometimes as well. I mean,
Is that out?
sometimes you're kind of in there just loafing around and you get hit in the face, or
Score is 3-7-3.
you know, maybe out of position. Your opponent makes a bad shot and hits you in the back, and all of a
Saying
sudden
it
you kind of wake up.
Knocks some sense into you? Is that what you're going
Not
for?
really trying to go there.
Well, I was saying as Maria Dugas being the player that, and that's an amazing shot. Sometimes you get a little gun shy that you're afraid to hit your opponent again.
And also as the opponent, sometimes you put yourself out of position, afraid to get hit again. So I'm playing the devil's advocate here, but I've seen it play both ways. It all depends on whose personality it is. Aoife is the smallest handball participant here at the collegiate. She won that award last night. It's at the pre-banquet award show.
Point.
You actually emceed that. Did a very nice job.
Thank you.
I especially liked your 30-minute opening monologue.
Score is
Didn't really
5,
pertain all that
7,
much to handball, but you had some good material.
Well, the kids at Berkeley liked it. Look at that shot right there. I thought she had it revolving doors. She's not handling the two-wall glass back there very well.
Score is 6-7-3.
6-3.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I like how the referee says the score is 6-3. Giving us a little fourth man in the booth action there from Isaac Acosta and make that 7-3.
Aoife very frustrated right now.
Score is 7-7.
She feels like she's not playing her game, but Maria's not really giving her that opportunity. So much power in both hands.
Can we do that?
That could have been unavoidable only because Maria showed her the right side
is
and then
7-7-3.
jumped across to the left.
Nice shot there by Aoife.
Timeout. First timeout for
I don't know how much I agree with that timeout. She just had a great shot, had good motivation going into a serve, and then calls a timeout to let Maria regroup.
Well, actually, I think that
Uh,
Aoife is tired
7-3.
right now. She's trying to get her win
you.
back and make a push here.
Thank you, pal.
You're watching
Is this
60th United
tricky
States
or
Handball
heavy?
Association's Collegiate
Thank you.
National Handball Championships. We're in Springfield, Missouri at the Plaster Sports Complex,
The best wife
Missouri
ever.
State University. This is a great handball
Ever, coach.
location. We thought the last couple years at Tempe was great, Dave, but you could really see there's a different vibe here because at Tempe, ASU, Arizona State University, did not have a handball program. Therefore, it kind of missed out on some of that local flavor, some of the local kids that would come out with their families to watch. Here, like I told Ashley earlier, like we saw in the weather report,
30
it
seconds.
was 37 this
30
morning, but it
seconds.
said it felt like it was 22. Well, here in the facility, it's 230 players, but it feels like 500, just from the way that this whole place is set up, and also the friends and family that are coming out watching this MSU team.
Well, it's almost like comparing Cameron Indoor Stadium that Duke plays its basketball games in compared to America West Arena, which is more like Tempe. Here, it's very much compressed. All the players and all the
Score is-
fans are sort of in this very small, tight
Score is,
area. And there's a lot of
377.
camaraderie and a lot of electricity, whereas in Tempe, it's more of a commercialized type of recreation center. It doesn't have the same kind of character. This is a true handball club.
Point. Score is 4-7.
Score is 4-7.
Although I will have to hold you to what you said in the last 2 years, that it was the best tournament you've ever been to. So I'll hold you to that. You said that both in 2010 and 2011.
7.
Well, I'm very upset at myself for that. Because this
Unfortunately,
is
you
now
can't
the
take
best
it
tournament
back.
I've ever been to.
Well, now I just don't believe you anymore.
Point. Score is 8-7-4.
I believe the score is 8 and serving 4.
And a
Side
ball
out.
right into the ground from Maria Dugas.
I suck or what, bro? Sorry.
And what's
Four
strange,
is
Dave, is she's
4-7-8.
trying to 6 feet high and yet hit the ball into the floor. Sometimes you see these players going for those low power serves and they just barely put the ball on the ground, and it's a huge error, but you can still somewhat understand it. It's hard to understand a serve going in the ground that you're aiming 6 feet high.
That's true. Good point.
Set out. Score is 8-7-4.
8-4 score here. Maria Dugas.
Very nice rally there, ended with a off-speed pass from Maria Dugas down the left side glass.
Score is 9-7-4. That was good. Short ball. Yeah. School second serve.
All the volunteers here, Dave, working so hard, especially the WPH boys that came over from Tucson.
Set out.
Just always willing to lend a helping hand here at this event, Dave.
Score is 4-7-9.
Well, the players that the Tucson representatives are coaching are undefeated in all of their matches.
That's true, actually.
I know it's true. That's why I said it. I don't say lies.
What is the actual record, though, of those players, those undefeated players?
4-0
5-7-9.
after 2 days of play.
Side out.
There's a lot of variety of emotions coming from Aoife. When she just got the side out before that, she was yelling at herself to come on and pump herself up, and then she misses a shot and she's all smiles.
Well, she wears her emotions on her sleeve, as we say, Ashley. She's a crowd favorite because you feel like you're living through her watching the match. She's very expressive. I think that's incredibly exciting and entertaining for a fan. Really feeling like they are feeling what the player's feeling.
You're very good at that
Score is
yourself.
11-7-5.
Thank you.
Point.
And Aoife continues to struggle in that back left corner. I think it's more of a case of her not moving her feet quickly enough and getting herself in position to hit those shots than not seeing the ball in the glass, because the ball's popping out a lot farther than she's standing, and she just doesn't have a swing on those shots.
If you're back home right now and you want to talk to the broadcast crew, ask questions, feel free to tweet us at WPH Live.
Score is 5-7-12.
On Twitter right now, WPH Live. If you want to ask questions, we can even interview the players with some of your questions.
I know that your tweet is blowing up right now.
We're trending right now. Chris Ballard, who wrote that CNN, the Sports Illustrated article on Jake Plummer, has tweeted me a couple times. As
Score
Danny
is
Bell,
6-7-12.
who is now working for Fox, we're not the same Danny Bell that you and I know, the handball player Danny Bell, but he was my contact at ESPN. He also has tweeted onto the WPH page. He's now working for Fox Sports. So we have Sports Illustrated and Fox Sports following our trends as we are tweeting all across the world right now. WPH Live on Twitter will comment on your comments as you watch Maria Dugas serve here, representing Lake Forest. Wow, that's a good get right there, Dave. Here's a punch fist.
Good power there by Dugas, who hit it right back at herself.
And our referee calling a replay there, that was the hardest hit ball that I've seen thus far in the event.
12-7-6.
She took the momentum of the ball coming right at her and punch fisted it. 83 miles per hour on our radar gun, Ashley. That's the hardest ball that I've ever recorded a woman hitting.
Set out. Score is 6-7-12.
Aisling Riley was recorded at 81 miles per hour in the 2011 Simple Green U.S. Open.
Set out.
So I guess you could say we're making history right now.
Score is 12-7-6.
Always making history, Dave Fink. Everything we do.
That was good. That was good.
Aoife thought that skipped, so did I.
She picked it up. That was
It
good.
did
LFC
skip.
thought
Our
it was
referee
good.
is
Point.
not making eye contact with the
13,
booth, but he's also
76.
not standing up. I think he was obstructed by both players there. He couldn't really see that. I know, Dave, because I've sat where he's sitting right now, and there was no way for him to tell. That was an obvious skip.
Point.
Ball's so hard to hit off that back wall when it comes straight down like that.
Well,
Dave,
that's
how
one
do you
of-
defend that when you know it's going to slice straight down? I always tell people just go down on one knee, get your hand right there, and just flip it back. But some of these players don't have that power
Score is 14,
enough or the wrist
76.
action to get it up there. What do you do?
Well, I don't think it's so much power. I try and drop my hand under the ball, open up my hand really big, and just float the ball back in, not trying to do anything but returning the ball high. Because when that downspin hits your hand, the ball will go straight towards the ground. So you have to compensate for that by getting your hand under the ball and rolling your wrist and throwing the ball up as
Well,
high
no,
as you
no,
can.
score yet.
Maria Dugas was not ready for that serve. She was looking down.
Score is
That's why they're going to
6-7,
play it over.
14.
The referee didn't even call the score.
I believe the score is 6 serves 14.
How do you know that?
I'm reading lips.
Timeout.
Well, read these lips. No new taxes.
7 serve.
Well, that was a very interesting timeout from Maria Dugas. She saw Aoife pumping herself up after that crack serve ace. She saw a lot of
14-7.
positive emotion, immediately called the timeout. That's what we see from Nadia Alvarado Jr. when he plays Luis Moreno. As soon as he sees Luis Moreno starting to hit his leg and get himself pumped up, he immediately cools him off with the timeout. And that's what Maria Dugas did there. And I think that was a really smart veteran play from the senior All-American.
You're watching the 60th United States Handball Association's Four-Wall Collegiate National Handball
No.
Championships at the Plaster Sports Complex in Missouri.
7-14
at
you.
Springfield, where the
I'm
MSU
serving.
team and their family and friends have held one of the very best collegiate tournaments as of late, with these 40-plus schools representing the Collegiate National Handball Championships, many of them coming from Ireland. I believe there's 14 different teams from Ireland, and now they're all here in the Midwest. Ashley, this is your first time in Springfield, near St. Louis, I believe. Have you been to Springfield before? No?
Plenty of times, yeah.
Oh, you have?
This is
Okay.
probably the third, besides now in Tucson, probably the third place I've played the most.
Okay. All
My
right.
brother goes to school here.
Okay, your
and
brother goes to school.
So I
all
used
right.
to come down a lot.
No.
When I was in college, there was nobody else that played at my school, so the Missouri State team kind of adopted me as the stepchild.
Was it the? It wasn't the ugly stepchild. You look
Probably.
really nice today, by the way.
Nice to see you doing
Hey,
your research
what's her name?
before the
Well, I thought you
matches
said
start.
that you weren't here before, but
Score is 7-7-14.
maybe that was you, Kate.
That's true, it was me.
We do
Okay.
look alike. It's hard to
I
keep
knew it
us
was
straight.
somebody
I
in the
understand.
broadcast booth. Nice get right there from Maria Dugas. I knew it was somebody in the booth. I just forgot who that somebody was.
Just to clarify, though, I know people are very interested in how many times each of us have been here. I was here in 1995, but it was before this complex was built. So I played handball in a different facility. It wasn't anything like this.
It's the Hammond Center. They're actually using the other facility.
Score
They
is
have 4 courts over there, which they've used as kind of a overflow area.
When I get sent to the overflow area at a tournament, I'll know it's time to retire.
Set out.
Sorry.
Score is 7-15.
Well, we can't wait for that day. Here's a serve
Purple.
from Aoife.
Second serve.
I have my calendar circled. I don't know which one's going to get us first. You going to the overflow room or the Mayan calendar?
I like that serve right there.
Point. 8 serving 15.
The score is 8 serves 15.
Fortunately, Dave, we know that you'll always be a huge part of this wonderful game, whether you're working as the
Set out.
executive director or just as a passionate player.
I
Score is
respectfully
15,
disagree with
78.
that statement. Handball has opened up a lot of doors for me. And Aoife now missing that ball in the back. Comes off the glass. Very sharp for her. She's having a lot of trouble back there,
Score
Dave.
is 16 serving 8.
Well, Maria's hit a lot of really good ceiling shots and deep court balls that have put Aoife in a tough position. Aoife is a front court player. She likes to camp out in between the short line and the restraining line. And by being pushed into those back corners, she's made a lot of errors. It's very hard to win a handball match, Dave, from those back left and right corners. In fact,
we apologize for not being able to hear the referee. I believe the score is 17-8. It could be 18-8. I'm not quite sure. Let's listen.
Score is 18 serving 8.
18-8 is the score here. Game number 2, it was
Short ball.
18-8.
it was Dugas winning
Second
the first
serve.
one. And here it is, second game, trying to go to the finals.
and we've very rarely seen the Irish losing on a webcast.
This will be the first time ever for us.
Well,
Point.
We will have to
Maria
take a moment of
Dugas.
silence, Dave, here in the booth because Irish just don't lose on the webcast. This will be the first one ever.
there is an
Score is
asterisk here, though,
19
because
serving 8.
Maria Dugas technically not an American. She's Canadian.
She is Canadian.
So I'm not sure that we'll have that moment of silence or not. That'll be up to Ashley, actually.
We might sing "Oh Canada" or just any song from Anne Murray. Not quite sure, but nonetheless.
Score is 8 serving 19.
8-19 is the score here.
And that's
Very-
a ceiling kill shot there. That was one of those tricky spins as
Set
Aoife's
up.
ball hit the front wall ceiling. And even when you try and take that ball up to the ceiling, the ball
19
dies off her
serving
hand.
8.
And that's what happened there. The ball died off Maria's hand. Just clipped the bottom of the front wall from the ceiling.
Ashley, are you impressed with Maria Dugas's left hand over top going to the
She
ceiling?
has a very good over the top left hand. She doesn't make a lot of errors back there.
How does a player develop such a strong offhand? Do you have to go to the court and just practice, or is it something you're born with?
Well, you of course have to have some natural ability, but getting in the court and throwing it and hitting it definitely helps a lot.
Point.
I just look at Maria Dugas, Dave, as being just a great athlete. I see her as like an all-American softball player.
Possible
She's got
game serving match 8.
an amazing skill set. This is game and match point, and Maria threw a little extra zip onto that one.
Game.
And there it is.
Good
Maria
game, ladies.
Dugas takes down Aoife McCarthy here and closes out this game number 2 and now goes to the finals. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have more handball action with the
Good game.
men's semifinals on the show court here right now. Stick around for more.
Thanks.
For Ashley Moeller, Dave Fink, Omar Lemus, Linda Manning, my name is Dave Vincent. Stay here for
Yeah, I
the
know.
60th United States Handball Association's Cornwall Collegiate National Handball Championships at racefor8.com.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
You ready? Let's go!
What's up, everybody? I'm here at Placer Sports Complex on the campus of Missouri State University here in Springfield, Missouri. We're in a couple weeks, February 22nd through the 26th. We'll have over 300 student athletes from all over the world getting ready to throw down some fierce competition in the 60th annual USHA National Collegiate Championships.
50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights.
There'll be 2 facilities here at Placer Sports Complex. We have 12 courts, and also at Hammond Student Center, we have 5 courts over there.
People still think that they know him. He knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise.
Teams have been gearing up for this 5-day competition all year long. Up for grabs are multiple individual titles as well as the 3 different team titles. The women's team, men's team, and combined team titles. This is one of the biggest handball events in the world every year.
The fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects. Never asking for someone's help to get some respect.
We'd love for you guys to come out, have a good time, and welcome to Bear Country. Mo what? Mo State.
20% skill, 80% beer, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verses, dude, is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.